A chilly and foggy day in Brooklyn and what has been a roller coaster ride of a season for both DC Power and Brooklyn FC. Last season, Jess Garziano for Brooklyn, she was their leading scorer, but this season she's been the best facilitator on the squad, 4 assists to lead the club. Emily Colton, she is the engine that drives DC Power, and she's hoping to keep that engine moving as this team looks to extend their unbeaten streak to 5 this afternoon. We welcome you to Maimonides Park in Brooklyn. It's Gainbridge Super League action in the spring. Brooklyn FC and DC Power in a pivotal match when it comes to the GSL table. Alongside Renee Washington, I'm Josh Appel. Thanks so much for spending part of your Saturday with us. And Renee, as we look at the Gainbridge Super League table to this point in the season, Sporting Club Jacksonville and Lexington, they're comfortably in the 1 and 2 spots. When you look down there at 6th and 7th, DC Power, Brooklyn FC level at 19 points, just 4 points out of the final playoff spot.
And that's the key. So much that still has to be figured out. It's a battle in the mix of the table, which makes games like today so important to make sure you take care of business and get the result you need.
For DC Power, Gianna Gorley leads the way. She's been one of the most prolific goal scorers in the league the last 2 seasons. 8 goals, 2 assists in her 16 games this year.
Yeah, she's quickly emerged as not only a top goal scorer on the team, but one of the most dangerous forwards in the league. So effective with her off-ball movement, the timing of her run, and the ability to find gaps in the defense to get on the end of crosses and final third passes. Plus, she elevates her teammates around her because they play so much through her with the way they like to play patient and build up that they find Gianna Gorley.
For the home side, Brooklyn, they're without Rebecca Cook tonight. She's tied for the team lead in goals with Catherine Zimmerman, who's coming off a 1-goal, 1-assist performance last time out.
5 goals for Catherine Zimmerman on 22 shots, and she's one that is consistent, a veteran leader for them, and also makes great runs, so active with her high work rate and willingness to take defenders on to help create in their offense.
DC, Brooklyn, for the 3rd time this season, Brooklyn has won and drawn in the 2 games previously. 2 unbeaten streaks on the line this afternoon. We'll have lineups and kick from Maimonides Park coming up in just a moment.
Hearts. No 2 beat the same. So we built a team of the best heart surgeons, pioneers of the most modern techniques, who always find the one approach that's best for you. But while each surgery is unique, the outcome is the same: the highest success rates. NYU Langone Health.
Caitlin Clark, amazing at assists. Gainbridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, graded assists. Gainbridge, graded assists for your savings.
Hearts. No 2 beat the same. So we built a team of the best heart surgeons, pioneers of the most modern techniques, who always find the one approach that's best for you. But while each surgery is unique, the outcome is the same: the highest success rates. NYU Langone Health.
Welcome back to Brooklyn, Maimonides Park. Pivotal game in the push for the playoffs between Brooklyn FC and DC Power FC, meeting for the 3rd time this season. Josh Appel, Renee Washington with you. Before we get to starting 11s for both sides, Renee, some players unavailable in this matchup today due to international duty.
Yes, and this is the exciting time, but also it's difficult. They're missing their league games, but a chance to represent their country all at the AFC Women's Asian Cup, except for midfielder Jennifer Cujo, who's with Ghana competing at the Pink Ladies Cup in the United Arab Emirates. So an exciting time for that international duty. Coaches, as they talked to us pregame, mentioned they're happy their players get this opportunity to develop, to grow, to learn, to represent their countries, and then hopefully bring some of that back.
So let's see how the two sides will line up today. First for Tomas Tengarina, his first season as the head coach for Brooklyn. Here's how they'll line up.
Yeah, and this group loves to pack it in defensively and then build up out of the back. And when you look at how they've been able to play through players like Kroger, that has helped facilitate for them in transition, Hope Breslin helping them get forward. They have a lot of consistency and confidence in their units, and it's been just a quick transition into their 4-3-3 attack and getting forward.
Remember, no Rebecca Cook tonight. They'll be without her 7-goal contribution. She also leads the team in shots out due to a red card suspension. Omid Namazi in his first season as the DC Power head coach. Gianna Gorley up top. New name in goal for DC today. Sarah Wiljelko on loan from Washington Spirit.
And that's something that we had a chance to just talk to Coach about, of just that goalkeeper battle and trying to figure out who makes most sense. Health was an issue, but also just making sure you're going with whoever is playing best at that time. And then also they're anchored with Susanna Fitch, one of those key players for them defensively that really helps this 4-5-1 get going, also in a transition to build out of their back.
So again, a pivotal meeting today between these two sides. There's Omid Namazi, his first season as the DC head coach. Really enjoyed our conversation with him. So there's a lot of progress they felt through the first half of the season. They feels like they really started to get it together at the end of the fall. And now with this disjointed start to the spring, there's Tomas Tengarina from Portugal, the 34-year-old. These two coaches just trying to find some consistency in their play. Stephen Foster is our referee, and we are underway from Brooklyn. Josh Appel, Renee Washington with you. Thanks so much for spending part of your Saturday with us on Peacock. These two teams level in points, 19 apiece, 4 back of that fourth and final playoff spot.
And finally able to get back on the pitch for a game in nearly 1 month. So I'm interested to see how they start off. You want to set the tone early. That's very key in this game to ensure that, especially on a dreary day like this, that you are coming out and getting right into a routine and a rhythm from the opening whistle.
And if you look at the schedules for both of these teams, DC played their first 2 games in the spring on February 7th and February 14th. This is their first game since then. And then for Brooklyn, they played a game at the beginning of February and at the end of January, and they've been off since then. So both coaches not only looking for consistency in their team's play, but just consistency of playing games, period. Great move through the middle. Brooklyn trying to weave their way through and find Anna Markovic, but could not get it to her.
And you already see that just the tempo high to start. They're shot out of a cannon. And listen, not only have they had this time off, but anybody that's from the Northeast like myself knows about how difficult, whether you're in DC or Brooklyn, it's been with what we call spring weather. That's been very much a lot of snow and blizzards. So just a chance to be on a full field outside playing. And that's where you get these early moments like this. I love this play here. Well done there by Hope Breslin. And just quick turn, quick move, going the other way. And I like the idea. Bring the creativity early on. Those are the little plays that help your team get some confidence and momentum and just energy building off of that.
Breslin, couple of goals this season. That would have been a pretty way to get her first assist. They were able to finish that build-up. You mentioned the weather up here in Brooklyn and in the Northeast in general. Tomas Tengarina was telling us that there were times where they were just trying to find consistent practice time, whether that was in an indoor facility, an outdoor facility, and they had to be able to find a place that had the right pitch dimensions, and if it didn't, just availability, and it's been a whole process, but Brooklyn seems to have found a competitive edge. There's this long ball over the top, lands for Garziano, but she's offside.
And Josh, this game's going to come down to also who can kind of get settled in quicker because of the fact that you do have so many other things. And I know both coaches talked about it. That's beyond your control. As a player, you know that. You're focusing on what you can control, and that's your intensity, how you're playing, how you're competing, how you're connecting with your teammates. So I think it's also just as important to note that as they're looking to get into this game, to make sure that they're starting the right way, but then keeping that intensity high and not having any drop-off, since it has been so long since their last game.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale coming off of a 3-3 draw against Fort Lauderdale. It extended the unbeaten streak to 3, but there was a lot of drama late. Rebecca Cook picked up a second yellow, so Brooklyn was down to 10 players and allowed a late equalizer. Instead of coming away with 3, they came away with 1 point. And Tomas Tengarina told us, look, in our first 2 matches, I thought we were better than Dallas in that game. We ended up with a draw. Felt like they were better than Fort Lauderdale, even with 1 fewer player. But they ended up with a draw. And he said, look, sometimes it's just one moment of lost focus that could take a result from all 3 points to just 1.
And with Brooklyn's style of play, is a team that's typically is getting out-possessed and just defends, plays aggressive, high presses, and then looks to play off the counterattack. You're going to have, at times difficulties maintaining leads. They've been a second-half team, and it's been difficult to put together a full game start to finish. So I think that's a big part of, that consistency they're looking for, of ensuring they can be a team that starts and finishes strong.
Long ball trying to go over the top to spring Abera or Gorley, but can't get to it. Pressure on that right touchline from Alyssa Walker. Wins it to Abera. Abera's pass for Gorley. Gorley is hounded by Thompson. Thompson scored her first goal in that 3-3 draw against Fort Lauderdale, and it will be a free kick from a handful of yards outside the area.
And as Gianna Gorley is looking to open up here, you see the arms get wrapped around her. That's just not a smart foul, especially because of the location on the field. You had good numbers, you have help defenders there, that you have Gorley in a tough position. Just keep forcing her back, don't allow her to open up. But I think Gorley got that half step that was able to force the foul. And look at the position of this on the field, Josh. Beautiful for a set piece.
A dangerous Loza Abera stands over it. Abera chips it over, big save. Kelsey Doherty, outstretched to her right, denies the free kick opportunity from Loza Abera. It is going to be a corner for DC Power, but Kelsey Doherty keeps this game 0-0.
And that was beautifully hit by Loza. Great curl on it as it went just over the wall, dipped down nicely. Well done by Doherty to see that and get the outstretched gloves on it in time.
The in-swinging corner, laying short, and cleared away by Brooklyn, but out for a throw to DC Power.
And this is where Brooklyn needs to reset. That's, a couple of back-to-back plays that DC Power was really able to get a foul, a good set piece, and put some pressure on them defensively.
There is the former Tampa Bay. It was an integral part of that team's run to the championship last year. Markovic in a race with Cummings, but that touch too heavy, and it's out for a goal kick. DC Power, 4-match unbeaten streak going back to the fall. It's the longest unbeaten streak in Gainbridge Super League now after Lexington's 17-match streak ended. Dallas also had a 6-match streak end as well, of going unbeaten. Abera to the outside.
And these are two teams with unbeaten streaks and very much unsatisfied, though, because it's been ties. They've been feeling as though they're leaving points on the table, and those are games, although you did not lose, it feels like a loss because you weren't able to get the win that you should have been able to secure. So definitely an interesting streak because unbeaten, yet still unsatisfied.
And both coaches told us they feel like their sides are starting to find their game. And it comes at the most important time in the season. Again, this is a Brooklyn team that last year started 9-3-2, and then went 1-6-7 in the spring season. Minus 15 goal differential, but they made some additions, changed over a bit of the roster, new coach, and safe to say this second half will not go the way last year's did for them.
Absolutely, and sometimes you just need that time to reset, and especially with so much new, to figure each other out and learn the tendencies. And one of the things they do have figured out is how they look to high press. You see there that foul that was called against Milena Freitas. They are going to make sure every time you are receiving the ball for DC Power, they are in your back pocket, and you're going to feel that pressure every single play.
Emily Colton, Alexis Theoret, and it's Colton who curls it in. It's a good ball, and headed away by Brooklyn. Annie Williams looked like she was the one who got to it. A lot of physicality along that touchline. Anna Markovic, the Croatian international, wanted a whistle, did not get one from Stephen Foster. This is a matchup, by the way, between the team with the fewest yellows earned and the team with the most yellows earned. Brooklyn with 44 the most, just 14 for DC. The cross for Markovic, sitting in the area and cleared away. Popped back over the top. Markovic is there. Almendera is also with her. Milena Freitas. Her cross is blocked. Gurley tried to clear, unable to. Markovic swings it in. Great ball out in front, but Garziano couldn't get her head to it. That would have been her first of the season if she could connect.
Wow, a couple of great plays. Markovic doing a good job of stretching Brooklyn and making some runs, timing it well to stay on side, and then also getting into dangerous position to curl off the back line of DC Power. Those are some really dangerous looks. It's unfortunate that Garziano and Brooklyn, nobody was able to get on the other end of it.
Markovic gets behind Cummings. And off of her line aggressively, Wajelko had to come and get that before Markovic could make a play. Cummings kind of got caught flat-footed there.
We've seen that a couple times now with Markovic, of the right idea, just a bit heavy on the touch, that it's running one time out of bounds, this time into the keeper. So just needing to fine-tune some things, but you kind of expect that.
Abera lays it ahead for Fitch. Gurley making a run towards goal. Punched away. Gurley has it settled down. Shot blocked and taken away. Jordan Thompson. That is one of the most dangerous goal scorers in Gainbridge Super League, and she gets it right back, but turned it over. Freitas for Thompson. That was last touch by DC. And so a throw-in coming with a soggy ball from that tarp.
Yes.
It would be the pitcher's mound here, where the Brooklyn Cyclones minor league baseball team also calls home.
Well, in addition to everything we've talked about in regards to the weather and not being able to play as much, you know, you're also just not as sharp. And so we've seen some plays right now that you would think, had this been in a rhythm, those are goals, or at least shots on goal, I should say. So that's also part of it too, is who can maybe capitalize on some of that, especially this early going.
Cloudy day in Brooklyn, temperatures in the mid-40s. Brooklyn has earned results in the first two meetings between these two sides this season. A 1-0 win here and a 2-2 draw in DC. Over the top, trying to spring Justina Gaynor, but she runs out of room. And it's a goal kick. One of the things that Omid Namazi told us about the first meeting to the second one, as we take one more look. Breslin, a little bit of a shove there on Gaynor at the end.
Yeah, and that's exactly what she was pleading her case for. Gaynor felt the push that we just saw. I mean, the physicality that we're seeing in this early start of the game, as you mentioned, Brooklyn already has, as Coach talked to us about, the reputation with being the team that has the most yellow cards and top of the league in terms of fouls as well. But we're seeing the intensity of just a little extra with each duel, with each tackle.
Cummings gets rid of that. I was starting to say that Omid Namazi noticed that Brooklyn changed their style of play from the first meeting to the second meeting. Said they were a lot more aggressive and going over the top, long balls, trying to get in behind. And in the first 13 minutes today, it seems like we're seeing more of that from Brooklyn.
And they had success with that last time these two matched up. So if it's not broken, don't fix it. And I think Brooklyn right now, especially with players like Markovich that's stretching their front line, they are doing a good job in transition to pull DC Power out of shape defensively. And they knew this coming in. We'll just see if they're able to make an adjustment.
Jess Garziano stands over it. She's got multiple assists from set pieces and corners this year. 4 total. Still looking for her first goal, though, after leading the team a season ago. Garziano delivers in. Abera got rid of that. Colton aggressive, but called for the foul as Milana Freitas went down.
Take a look at this again. Both just competing for this 50-50 ball. And then there it is, a little bit extra on that play. I mean, right now the officials have been, in my opinion, doing a solid job managing it. You don't want too many whistles. Give time for the players to play.
Another free kick. This comes towards goal, but lands on a hop for Sarah Wajelka. Mentioned Emily Colton on the team of the month in Gainbridge Super League for the month of February, number 5 in blue. Omid Namazi had such high praise for her, called her the engine of the team. Game in and game out, puts in the most meters in running and sprinting. Said she gives us the energy we need in the middle, and expounded upon that even more so, saying that technically she's a high-quality player, but they want to see her improve more goal contributions in the attack. They want her to be a little more greedy. They wouldn't change her for anybody, and she leads the team in chances created. And what he's saying is, look, there's more meat on that bone for her to cash in.
Yes, and sometimes that's tough when you have the worker bees that, they're all over the pitch, they're scrappy, they're helping to facilitate and orchestrate your offense, but then they get around the goal, and that same aggression that you see throughout the pitch, they kind of scale back off of that. And, I always feel like as a player, you either have that goal. Some players are goal scorers and others score goals.
Garziano, that goes off of Almendarez and then into the hands of Wajelko.
Joko looking good in her early touches that we've seen for her. Brooklyn really making DC Power have to chase a bit as well.
Colton got there and played it for Claire Constant, who scored her first professional goal against Tampa back on February 14th. Williams, hounded by Abera. Abera thought she won it. Instead, it's a throw to Brooklyn again. Select is the official matchball supplier of the Gainbridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Emily Colton moves it along. Gainer. Now Fitch has to retreat for it.
We talked
around Kroger.
We talked about Josh, Brooklyn playing a bit more direct. They're disrupting a lot right now, making it so difficult for DC to get any consistent possession going. Look at that play.
2 warriors in this league, Kroger and Fitch. Fitch led DC Power in minutes last season and starts. All Super League first team a season ago. The captain of DC Power and Sam Kroger, who's played all but 18 minutes this season.
And the thing about that ball is rolling out of bounds. There are some players that just say the play's done, it's going out of bounds, it's over. But you've got two Warriors that are battling, trying to keep that one alive and make sure it's going in their favor. And Fitch gets up a little bit slowly. You see her gingerly stepping. We'll say this time of year, I feel like, tackles that typically in the warm weather are okay, just hit a little bit differently as a player. I remember those tackles that sting a little bit more. So Fitch probably just going to need a moment to run that one off. And
on the turf as well.
Oh,
And
yes.
the temperatures in the 40s. Thompson. Garziano for Williams. Now Breslin. Cleared away by Thioret. Abera hounded. Sent over the top. Nobody home for DC. And it's able to be recovered by Brooklyn. And they'll play out with Kelsey Doherty.
Well, what I was actually trying to get at before that collision that Fitch ended up on the lower end of, or the hurt end of, I should say, was, right now Brooklyn is kind of bringing DC Power's game to them. They're disrupting a lot defensively. They're pinning them back. And now when DC Power does win the ball, they don't really have options to build up field, and they're turning it over again. So they're just doing a good enough job of making it ugly at times, disrupting, breaking up any buildup that DC's looking to have, and that's allowing them to sustain possession better.
The possession is 50-50 right now. You mentioned earlier that Brooklyn is a team that doesn't control the ball very often. They are 43% on average as far as possession this season. And their pass accuracy is at the bottom of the league as well. Today, though, about even with DC, around 75% so far through the first 20 minutes. Williams a bit slow to get up.
Yes, and it's felt like it's picked up in this recent stretch where we're seeing more times the ball's at the feet, and just like we're seeing now, they've got their shape, they're stretching DC, they're making them chase.
Abera, who nearly scored off a set piece earlier. Doherty with the save, the highlight so far of this first half. Fitch couldn't connect, taken back by Brooklyn. That's through Markovic. And it comes down to Paige Almendarez. One of the new additions in 2026, 2025, 2026 for DC Power.
That's something that I also just enjoyed hearing from Omid Namazi about, just the difference in personnel and how this team has been building the foundation, just raising the level, and it's translating into games, and they're excited to see this spring season how it shows even more in this playoff push.
Freitas ahead for Markovic. Cummings chases her into the corner. Markovic ran out of room and puts that behind goal. It is out for a goal kick.
And Markovic just goes every time they're finding her. She's making the run. She just continues getting forward. That time unable to reel it back in, to be able to save it, to get that one into a better position in bounds. But she's got the green light right now, and you can see every time the ball is sent her way, she is, whether there's numbers or not, taking off to get the offense forward.
Colton heads it down. Gurley flicks it forward. Abera settles it, flicks it ahead again. An opportunity for DC Power off the crossbar. Alyssa Walker nearly had DC on top here in the first half. Walker came over on permanent transfer in January from Carolina. Missed all of last season for Spokane. Nearly had her second for DC.
And this is a beautiful play of just helping it on. Walker's going, well done to just lead her so she doesn't even have to break stride. I love the heads-up play there to try to sneak that one first time over Doherty, and the post is the only thing that saved it and kept this a scoreless game, because that everything else was executed perfectly to a T. That crossbar had other plans, though.
Amid Namazi very excited as fouls called here on DC. Very excited about how Alyssa Walker and Gianna Gorley fit together. It's a second striker that they haven't had. Gives them some flexibility to play with two strikers. Can also play underneath as a false 10 or a winger. The flexibility in bringing Alyssa Walker in was massive for them.
And in addition to just adding personnel, it added some flexibility and versatility to how they can look to attack. And we're seeing it in spurts. They're on the attack right now through that. Just the interchanging, the movement of being able to have different playmakers where sometimes you know, one player is a bit more centrally, sometimes they're maybe making the run out wide, but that's something that he's very optimistic about, how they can mix and match depending on what the game calls for and how it's developing.
Another player to worry about and be threatened by. This is a team that scored just 24 goals last season. They're already 3 off of that, with basically the entire spring schedule to go.
A massive boost in offensive production, and it's just being more patient, more clinical to set up stronger goal scoring opportunities and then finishing your chances, finishing your runs to make sure you're scoring. That's not an easy switch to make, but they've been able to do it so far this season.
Gaynor, another new addition before the spring. Came over from Lexington.
Well, not to continue to hound the storyline that we've talked about with the schedule and how they haven't played, but as you're also highlighting, Josh, with the new faces, that only makes it more difficult.
Yep.
You haven't played a game since Valentine's Day, and now you're mixing and matching all these new pieces. You haven't been able to practice outside. These are the types of factors that really can separate a good team from a great team, of who can overcome that, who can find ways to still get the chemistry, the connection going to get results.
Loving played that forward, and Zimmerman. Now Freitas. Elena Freitas. Emma Loving. A couple of number 4s battling in the midfield. Gaynor goes down. And Loving is whistled for the foul. Loving, the Penn product, first pro season in the U.S. Played in Sweden, Germany, and France before joining Gainbridge Super League.
I've had a chance to cover her during her collegiate days, and she's definitely a player that can fit in wherever needed to help.
Abera off a misplay. Loza. Abera denied by Doherty, and then she dives on it. The opportunities have been there so far for DC, but Kelsey Doherty, a brick wall.
Kelsey Doherty read this one perfectly, beautifully played. That's another strong buildup by DC, and well done by Loza. You look here, able to just get the touch, had options of which pocket she wanted to pick out, but well done by Doherty to just read it well and to stay on the rebound to ensure that nothing came out of that. She's had some fantastic saves this first half to keep this one scoreless.
Remember that save, remember the one on the free kick from Abera, and then also the one off the crossbar from Alyssa Walker. 3 quality chances in this half. And Doherty, who's got a wealth of experience. Brooklyn trying to figure out their goalkeeping situation. Bree Norris is dealing with some lower body injury at the moment. Nicolette Pasquarella got a chance to start against Fort Lauderdale. But Tomas Tengarina told us, look, we'll ride the hot hand. Who's ever having the best week in practice and training, it translates over into the games. That's who we'll stick with. And Kelsey Doherty, have a half.
Yes, and she's healthiest, showing best in practice, and you see what she's showing in the game as well. It's definitely translating. She's had some fantastic saves. And listen, Loza Abera had, between the set piece and that last look there, some great runs, some great placement on her shots to make Doherty have to have a difficult save. And so far, Kelsey has answered the call tremendously, showing why they made the right decision, trusting her today.
Thompson tried to take it herself, got ushered to the turf by Gianna Gurley. Quick restart, comes back to bite Brooklyn. Colton with that speed, intercepts and gets it to Abera. Gainer, with Williams watching her. Theoret. Claire Constant. Now Fitch. Abera. Kelsey Hill watches her. The cross comes in, cleared away. Fitch settles it down. Kroger keeping a close eye. Constant. Now Abera. Catherine Zimmerman defending. She's been quiet in the attack.
Yeah, we've talked so much about the different playmakers for DC, and right now it's been Abera that's been the most consistent, dangerous threat. The run she's making, she's finding the ball in good pockets. She's been very active along the back line, and she keeps finding ways to peel off the back shoulder of Brooklyn into some goal-scoring positions.
She scored 2 goals this season. One came against Brooklyn in the fall. She is a standout in international play for Ethiopia. Scored 5 goals last year. And should have at least one today. But Kelsey Doherty has gotten in the way of that. Colton, Theoret, and Cummings discussing their plan for this free kick. And it's Theoret who will take it. Second on the team in chances created in her first professional season. She's played all but 8 minutes this year. Theoret puts it in play. Comes through everybody, and a point to the spot. And DC Power will have a chance at a PK.
Wow.
Kelsey Hill wants an explanation.
I saw this as it was unfolding, did not know that they would actually make this call. You see there.
Is it on the push by Breslin maybe from behind?
I believe so. Walker was brought down as she was pursuing the ball. And
this is the first attempt from the spot for DC Power this season. Brooklyn has not conceded a penalty kick opportunity either. So a first for each side, and Alyssa Walker, who has 3 goals on the season, 1 for DC, hit the crossbar earlier today, looks to give DC Power the lead on the road. Walker against Doherty. Alyssa Walker scores! Walker puts DC Power on top with the game's opening goal here in Brooklyn.
Here's the celebration by Alyssa Walker with her 2nd goal in a DC jersey, and they've been able to draw some good fouls to set up for set pieces. This one, off the set piece, there's the foul. You take a look at it again, looking like there was some arm holding, and then how about the composure by Alyssa Walker to just completely freeze Kelsey Doherty. She guessed opposite, and then Walker able to just stay composed to put it away and composed on the celebration. It's been set pieces that have been the difference maker to help DC Power get some of their best looks, and that one they were able to capitalize on.
Brooklyn is a resilient bunch. They've dealt with deficits all season. You know, you look at the home and road splits for DC. They've played 7 matches at home this season. 1 win, 4 draws. On the road, they've been strong. 3 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws away from home, and you will take that every single day over the course of a season. You'll be in a really good spot if you take care of business at home. Unfortunately for them, they're leaving a lot of points on the table.
Yes, and there's pride in defending your home turf, but there's also pride in disrupting and beating someone on theirs. And right now, DC Power, whatever changes when they're in business mode on their road trips, really has been a complete night and day from at home. But as you mentioned, it's unfortunate they are leaving some results they would love to have back.
Gainer for Gianna Gorley. Flag was up for offside anyways. In the first 15, 20 minutes of this match, Renee, Brooklyn seemed like they had figured out how to create opportunities. It didn't translate in any shots or shots on goal, but they were getting in behind and just unable to do anything with it in the final third. Since then, the last 12, 13 minutes, DC has taken a stranglehold on this game, and they have the lead.
Exactly, and the biggest difference when you look at how they were attacking, DC with 4 shots, 3 of them on target, they were executing to at least finish out the plays. We saw them testing Kelsey Doherty. You have to test your opponent's backline and their keeper, make them work, and they made her have to make some really difficult saves, but you can't say the same thing for Brooklyn. Offensively, they've had more possession, especially in the middle parts of the field, but haven't been able to really, if you think about it, put that strong shot on goal, or any shot on goal for that matter, as of now.
1-0 on the goal from the spot from Alyssa Walker. Second goal in 3 matches since coming over from Carolina on a transfer in January.
They want somebody to talk in the headphones.
Long free kick comes all the way towards goal. And Sarah Wajelko, who hasn't been tested much today, transfer from, or on loan I should say, from Washington Spirit.
It's the first time we've really seen Sarah Wajelko have to make a save, and it wasn't a tough one. It rolled right into her.
Constant, a great ball over the top. Walker trying to get there. It deflects again. Doherty was out of position, but Brooklyn able to deal with it. Markovich trying to draw the foul on Sydney Cummings, but I don't know about you, Renee, but I feel like that was a good no call. Markovich trying to sell that a bit.
Well, in addition to taking the lead defensively, DC has also made adjustments to do a better job of stifling Brooklyn's transition play. And we see it's allowing them to quickly win it back and then get racing forward the other way.
Almendarez. Cummings, who starts everything from the back for DC. Abera towards goal. Another diving save by Doherty. Loza Abera is going to be seeing Kelsey Doherty in her nightmares. That's 3 golden chances for Abera, and she's yet to be able to cash in.
Incredible work that she's doing. Just peels off the back line to check top of the box and then does a good job of driving that one back post. And as you mentioned, Kelsey Doherty's just been reading her like a book to anticipate and make the saves, but it's been good shots, just better saves right now for what Kelsey Doherty's doing in net.
Zimmerman kept quiet in this half.
for DC. If I'm anyone on that pitch right now, I'm saying let's keep this going. You're up 1-0. You have momentum right now. You have players like Loza Abera that is just wreaking havoc. Keep knocking on the door and see if you can get that next goal to extend your lead.
Fiorette restarts it for Cummings. Team leader in minutes. She's the only field player to play every minute of every match for DC. Race to the outside. Fitch, the cross. Nearly put it in herself. Just curled wide and out for a goal kick.
That's a great patient build-up. Just putting the proper weight on the pass gives time to get numbers into the box, to get into the gaps, to shoot the lanes forward. And that's something that DC has been, as the halves gone on, doing a better job of getting numbers into dangerous spots.
And now Doherty stretching that right leg. Remember, Brianna Norris out today with a lower body injury. Doherty's been fantastic in this first half. 3 saves on 4 shots on target.
Josh, I know a cramp when I see one. All the work she's been doing to help keep this a 1-goal game, her body just needs a moment to stretch out. And it's also, as we, again, I hate to even bring this back up, but it has been nearly a month since they last played a game. So your endurance, your fitness, even for keepers, not really where it would be had you been in your typical rhythm of regular, consistent games.
Let's look at the day that Kelsey Doherty's had. It all got started on this free kick chance from Abera. Aggressive offer line there. Abera again denied right in front of goal. And then a third time on Loza Abera just moments ago.
And she's been textbook today. Her stance, her active hands, the way she's been just going with confidence and not hesitating. It's been some strong saves that she's able to make. And by no surprise, listen, the last, slew of minutes, she's seen a ton of action. And this is a moment, if I'm her teammates, you should be saying, let's get tighter defensively, let's minimize these chances, and let's make sure we're not giving up as many dangerous looks on our keeper.
Doherty still being looked at. We'll have obviously some time added at the end of this half. Doherty is up onto her feet. She's all right. 5'7" keeper who played collegiately at UAB. Overseas last year. Celtic. Really good there. 11 clean sheets. Helped them qualify for the UEFA Women's Champions League. So Doherty will get us started again.
You have to wonder, will Brooklyn rally a bit after seeing their keeper, who's been laying it all out there for them, doing everything she can to keep this game in reach? Will they rally to close out, especially this first half, for her?
Williams and Colton battle for it. Fitch plays it for Claire Constant. See all the ground that Melissa Walker covers, Emily Colton as well. You can see the type of player profile that DC really wants.
Yeah, it's great when you have active forwards. They're not just standing up top waiting for you to find them. They're actively defending, actively making runs, and all over just pests.
Milena Freitas. Fiorette right on her hip. And Freitas went down. Manderas came over to help. Throw in, Markovic. Another throw in, Milena Freitas. Low cross, Gotten rid of. Now Colton. Hill stepped up for it. Milena Freitas again. Freitas curls it towards goal and nobody home. Zimmerman was the closest there for Brooklyn.
And that's a difference we've seen as well. The crosses that Brooklyn has had, whether it's the service or the runs on the back end, they've been disconnected. And I think DC's just doing a better job of being on the same page to execute these services into the box.
Milena Freitas. Markovic. Almendarez watches her. Good job by Markovic to get that across, but it was off target again. Walker, who has the goal. Abera. Constant. This will be a throw-in for Brooklyn as time winds down here in the first half. Goal from the spot on a PK for Alyssa Walker in the 32nd minute has DC ahead 1-0, but could be a lot worse in favor of DC. Brooklyn fortunate to only be down 1-0 at the moment.
Yeah, this game was a crossbar or a remarkable save by Kelsey Doherty away from being a different scoreline. If you're, for Brooklyn, that's at least a positive going into half. You're still very much in this game.
That was crazy.
Paige Almendarez, you can hear her.
Well, this is what she's saying was crazy, as that ball definitely looked like it rolled over the line on the initial save. I think she actually had a case there, Josh. That's Freitas did not save it initially.
Markovic, could this be a chance for Brooklyn before the end of the half? Takes it wide towards the back post. Kroger, watched by her number 3 counterpart, Fitch. Four minutes of added time here in the first half. Punched away by Wajelko, but a foul before that.
Yeah, it looks like as his ball's being served across the box, you see Catherine Zimmerman there. There is the push on the initial one that even set up space for her to be wide open going against Sarah Wajelko.
Foul here on Brooklyn.
It's tricky. You want to play aggressive and high tempo, but you have to pick and choose your spots to make sure you're not fouling in positions that are going to hurt you, or even worse, messing up your own opportunities and chances.
Markovic gets away with a shove from behind. Zimmerman in the midfield. For Markovic again. Loving. Help in the corner from Gaynor. And Almendarez for Gorley. Markovic does a somersault. Good composure there from Constant.
Yet again, Brooklyn continues getting into wide pockets to get services. But when they get those flank crosses, they have to make sure they're setting up a teammate instead of just settling for knocking it into the box. Can you now have that extra savviness to your service to make sure you're getting your head up to peg out a target on the other end of it?
Almendarez with that left foot in the direction of Abera, doesn't get there. Garziano. Zimmerman. How much in this first half do you think Brooklyn is missing Rebecca Cook? It just feels like that presence. They're just missing that extra.
And that's difficult. You know, it's hard to replace your leading, you know, your player that's tied for leading goals, but also just what she brings in terms of the composure and ability to help create. They have been doing a good job keeping possession, getting forward. It's just that next gear in the attacking third that's missing.
Cook picked up 2 yellows and was sent off against Fort Lauderdale. So the initial foul on Milena Freitas, and then Colton falls on her ankle and takes her down. But it's a long free kick coming for DC Power.
Listen, nothing is going to come easy in this game, and these two teams are again, every tackle really getting into it.
Maybe time for one last chance for DC. Abera on the throw. Turns, tried to cross, cleared away. Justina Gaynor quickly throws in. Zimmerman got a piece. Garziano as well.
Both teams still playing so urgently. For DC Power, wanting to see if they can get that insurance goal. And of course, you know, maintain a high level going into the break. 1 goal lead is nothing. And you want to make sure you're continuing to play at a high tempo. And then, of course, Brooklyn, you see the fight to try to tie it up. But there's the whistle.
Stephen Foster blows the whistle for halftime here at Maimonides Park in Brooklyn. 1-0 DC Power over Brooklyn FC. DC trying to move their unbeaten streak to 5 and extend the longest streak in Gainbridge Super League. Both these teams trail Carolina by 4 points for the final playoff spot. And this could be huge in the playoff race down the stretch. Alyssa Walker's PK in the 32nd minute. The only goal in this first half in a 45-minute stretch that could have been a lot worse for Brooklyn, Renee.
Yes, we saw some tremendous saves by Kelsey Doherty to really keep this a 1-goal game. And DC threw everything they could offensively at them. Just a lot that both teams need to make adjustments on in the second half.
Joined now by DC Power's goal scorer in the first half, Alyssa Walker. Alyssa, that's your 2nd goal now in 3 games with DC. What's been clicking for you in your new home?
I mean, honestly, this team is just easy to work into with the way that they play. There's a lot of flow. And so it makes it easy because you just have someone who's looking at you, working off you. And in my opinion, I think that helps you get into a team quicker. So it's given me the opportunity to score a couple goals, make some good runs, and also just benefit my teammates as well.
And it seemed as though your offense picked up as the half wore on. What started to open up for you guys?
We've been working on a lot of different combinations and different formations and how to break this team down quite a bit. And I think along with that, the communication between us. Again, same thing. It's just the flow. The flow is really good, so we just got to build on that for the second half.
Alyssa, thanks for your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you so much.
That's Alyssa Walker, the goal scorer here in the first half. 1-0 to DC on her 32nd minute PK. As we head to break, stay with us for a special preview of episode 2 of Built for Success, stories from the Gainbridge Super League, featuring Tampa Bay Sun FC captain Jordan Listro and her journey from her home in Canada to captaining the Sun in the first title in league history.
Hearts. No two beat the same. So we built a team of the best heart surgeons, pioneers of the most modern techniques, who always find the one approach that's best for you. But while each surgery is unique, the outcome is the same: the highest success rates. NYU Langone Health.
Fernandez, and there's the goal. This ball late. Are you kidding me? Hope Heisey knocks it away.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Hearts. No two beat the same. So we built a team of the best heart surgeons, pioneers of the most modern techniques, who always find the one approach that's best for you. But while each surgery is unique, the outcome is the same. The highest success rates. NYU Langone Health. Hearts. No two beat the same. So we built a team of the best heart surgeons, pioneers of the most modern techniques, who always find the one approach that's best for you. But while each surgery is unique, the outcome is the same. The highest success rates. NYU Langone Health.
Definitely Jordan's best qualities are how hard and physical she is, and it's not fun to play against.
2-touch, Jordan! Touch! Finish! Jordan brings a ton of experience. She's an absolute warrior on the field.
I just want to win so bad, and I'll just do anything it takes. And that's kind of my mentality.
We're excited you're here this evening as we take on Spokane Zephyr FC.
This is all heart, like this game, because it is brutal out here.
Tampa Bay in search of their first home win.
Being a professional athlete, there are going to be lows and adversity.
We can do this, but we have to put in the work.
The back stick! Oh, it goes in off the deflection!
Gainbridge Super League. It's giving so many players more opportunities to play. It's been a dream come true for me.
Welcome back as we take a look at the Gainbridge Super League table. Right now, DC and Brooklyn tied in the table. DC up 1-0 after the first half. Sporting Club Jacksonville still up in that first position comfortably, 34 points. And Lexington, bit of a cushion on top of Dallas, but that cushion could shrink, Renee, because Lexington and Dallas match up tomorrow. Lexington looking to bounce back after a 3-0 defeat by first-place Sporting Jacks, the first time that Lexington had been shut out in the regular season since all the way back in October. Dallas Trinity also coming off a shutout defeat, falling to Carolina 2-0 in its last match. It ended the 6-game undefeated streak dating back to November for Dallas. So both those teams trying to bounce back tomorrow.
Both trying to bounce back and sitting at 2-3, of course, in the standings as well. So this is the time of year you want to start turning a corner as a group, and have a loss or have a result that you didn't like last outing. You can't allow that to snowball into 2 in a row. Needing to reset, get back in the win column, and get back to what led to their victorious streaks.
Today in Brooklyn, the Pups are out, hoping to see the home side come back in the second half, something they've done all season long. But right now, DC in control, back with more at Maimonides Park after this on Peacock. Welcome back to Brooklyn. 1-0 to DC at the half. Josh Appel, Renee Washington with you. And Renee, this could be a lot bigger of a deficit for Brooklyn, if not for Kelsey Doherty in the first half.
Such a fantastic half she's had, and then also a fantastic half that we've seen from DC Power. Alyssa Walker and Loza Abera, the two playmakers that have really been so consistently dangerous. The runs they're making, the chances that they're getting off the back line of Brooklyn, and this is what set up the goal. That's the foul that happens off of a set piece that we see Alyssa Walker brought down, and then we see her step up and finish the penalty kick. 32nd minute mark that Walker was finally able to help put DC Power on the scoreboard to get around the incredible saves we've seen from Kelsey Doherty.
Brooklyn's been solid at home this season. They've scored the most second half goals of any team in Gainbridge Super League. They find themselves down 1-0 in this pivotal match. Second half coming up. Welcome back to chilly Maimonides Park in Brooklyn. Josh Appel, Renee Washington with you. Brooklyn FC, DC Power getting ready to start the second half. A goal from Alyssa Walker from the spot, the PK in the 32nd minute. As DC on top 1-0 over Brooklyn. These two teams tied in the Gainbridge Super League table in a series that has been tight. 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws for both teams. But Brooklyn has earned results in both meetings this year, a 2-2 draw and a 1-0 win. The last meeting back on November 8th.
Yeah, it was Leah Scarpelli that scored the game winner on November 8th for Brooklyn. And You know, that's something that I'm sure for DC Power, they still remember. November was not that long ago, guys. So still wanting to probably not only get this result in terms of the playoff push, but, you know, these are neighboring cities for the most part. You want to get that revenge. You do not want to get swept in this series in terms of going winless.
Yeah, it's a little train ride.
Absolutely. Very close.
Stephen Foster, our referee today. Temperatures are in the mid-40s. You can see he's trying to keep warm. Brooklyn did make a substitution to begin the second half. Anna Markovic comes out, and Leah Scarpelli, the aforementioned, will replace her.
Well, you mentioned it, Josh, that they've been such a strong second half team of leading the league in terms of second half goals, and what better second half sub than the player that had the game winner the first time, or the last time you guys matched up, I should say. So maybe just needing a different look, and Scarpelli has shown that she can help defensively, but also building up field, creating, helping them score, gives a different look to their lineup.
And we'll get into it in the second half, but Tomas Tengariña, the head coach for Brooklyn, told us about the second half success that they've had this season. It's just our DNA, you know, resilience, intensity. They are prepared to suffer through adversity. And they're facing adversity here at home. Down a goal to begin the second half. They make one change. DC, no changes. And we're underway in this pivotal match in the playoff race here in the spring. DC in the light blue, Brooklyn in the black and gray. Josh Appel, Renee Washington with you.
This is where things get interesting, because we saw as the half wore on, you know, it felt as though DC really took control of the reins, the momentum, the chances, the opportunities, just the execution, all in their favor, but still saw that fight from Brooklyn. Listen, as Biggie said, it's the Brooklyn way. They're gonna fight, they're gonna battle, they're gonna bring the grit no matter what challenges are you know, they're dealing with. So this next 45 should be very interesting.
Let's see if they can get Catherine Zimmerman going in this second half. Again, no Rebecca Cook either, serving a red card suspension. Scarpelli on the cross. It was blocked, out, and a throw-in coming for Brooklyn. Scarpelli involved right away. Was part of this group last year. A couple of goals, couple of assists this season, making her 15th appearance and her 4th off the bench.
You already see the impact. Not only does she anchor them defensively, but helps them get forward.
Breslin with a beautiful move in the first half. Have taken from her there, Abera.
Good patience there by Abera. It wasn't on to go forward, just changes direction, switches it up, and works it around the back line.
Obviously, Rebecca Cook, not someone easily replaced, but Renee, what can Brooklyn do in this second half to put together a little more in the final third? They would get there, and then things would kind of fizzle out. 36 final third entries in that first half, but no shots from inside the box. Just one shot on target, and it was on a free kick from distance.
I think the biggest thing for Brooklyn is, you know, this isn't a game where they're just defending the entire time. They have been able to get forward. It's now, can you be composed, whether it's making the extra pass, taking the extra look, or even just communicating. That could help as well. As you're making the runs in the box, talk to your teammates. Let them know where you want the ball. I think it's the little things, because they are creating. They're getting forward. They're getting numbers forward. It's just that final third execution has been a bit scrambled and rushed at times.
Kelsey Hill is whistled for the foul. Going to go out on a limb here and say that Kelsey Hill was not a fan of that whistle.
Yeah, you know, I that's one bonus I love, that you get to hear directly a lot of times what the players are saying. Not happy with it, but hey, they get the ball right back. Ball doesn't lie sometimes.
Remember, the PK was the result of a foul inside the box on a free kick, where there was some contact by Hope Breslin onto the back of the DC Power player, but enough for a PK? Who knows? Except for Stephen Foster, because he called it.
Exactly.
And that's all that really
part.
matters.
And you don't see that often. Typically, a penalty kick comes from whether it's a handball or the player that has the ball gets fouled. You don't often see a set piece, not even run of play, where an off-ball foul happens. But also, Alyssa Walker was in a position making a run that had she been able to get the ball instead of being fouled, that might have been a goal. So I think essentially that's what the officials saw. But as a player, you hate to see that be the way that you concede a goal.
This half starting similar to the first, where Brooklyn is controlling in the early going. After that, DC settled in and took over the match.
And it's plays like that. You have to keep the pressure on. That kind of bails DC out a little bit. You're giving them the ball right back. You have shape, you have possession. Make them work and defend you. But at times we're seeing Brooklyn just that pass a bit off.
Milena Freitas tries to find Zimmerman, denied! Sarah Wajelko, her biggest stop in a DC Power kit. We've been waiting for Zimmerman to find a dangerous spot. She finally did. And Wajelko said no.
That felt like the one. Able to catch DC flat, able to get in behind, beautiful pass in behind, but still another chance here.
Off the corner, handled by Wajelko.
That's exactly what Brooklyn needs. You talked about and asked in terms of what they need to do without a player like Rebecca Cook on the pitch. You still have the playmakers and pieces. Set each other up to succeed. Deliver passes that your teammate can score off of.
Loving from distance and touched over the bar by Wajelko. You can tell Brooklyn has just come out on fire in this second half. Wonder what Tomas Tengariña was saying to his group at half, but two great chances and two great saves to answer by Wajelko.
And the first time we've seen Sarah Wajelko have to make a good save. But as Tomas Tengariña mentioned, halftime sometimes helps Brooklyn be able to reset, talk things over, and come out with a new game plan.
Bobbled, but not there to recover it was Walker, and DC lives to see another play. It's a throw-in for Brooklyn.
These are the moments you have to capitalize on if you're Brooklyn. That's back-to-back possessions where you are forcing Wajelko to make really difficult saves, keep the pressure on, and strike while the iron's hot to tuck one home and tie this game up. This is good by DC. Just keep it now. See if you can reset some of the momentum in your favor after just all the pressure that Brooklyn's been bringing. Now you're making them chase, including their forwards. Make them work, make them chase. Take some of the air out of their sails, so to speak.
Doherty, who had a phenomenal first half, really kept her team in it. We'll get it started from the back for Brooklyn.
I'm sure she's much happier seeing that type of play where the ball's coming to her versus the many chances she had to save in the first half.
Oh, Breslin trying to hang on to it as long as she can.
I understand the frustration, but time is not on your side as you're, I mean, listen, we're not nearly over, but you never know. This game could come down to a matter of seconds, so just need to make sure you're staying, focused on the bigger picture.
Brooklyn scored 22 goals in total this season. 19 have come in the second half. And they threatened twice within the first 6 or 7 minutes of this second half.
And there are some teams that play better when their back's against the wall. It's that mindset to play like you're down 1-0 in the final 5 minutes, and you have to throw everything you can in the kitchen sink to try to see if you can score. And for whatever reason, so far, that's kind of been the MO for Brooklyn as a second half team that maybe comes out, sees what their opponent has, rope-a-dopes them a bit, sees what they're throwing, and then makes adjustments to come back at them and be able to score in the second half.
Albera wanted Walker to come up and play that, but miscommunication, and Williams was then brought down by Walker. And they've got Theoret as well.
Well done by Annie Williams there. Just aggressive, anticipated well. Everybody else seemed like they froze in their tracks, but Annie Williams able to just win that 50-50.
And Brooklyn find the equalizer, Breslin. Try to backheel, Zimmerman did. And now Walker, the goal scorer. 32nd minute from the spot. It is a handball, regardless. Brooklyn gets the throw. Garziano. Cummings right with her. Excellent job by Cummings.
That's the other thing that Brooklyn can do is to get players like Catherine Zimmerman and Jessica Garziano going a bit more, set them up so that they can have the ball in positions facing goal, able to take defenders on, able to have some open green. And I don't know that they've been able to link with them enough. I know we had that great chance by Zimmerman off the feed by Freitas, but we haven't seen them enough in the attack in positive positions getting the ball to help create for Brooklyn.
Freitas for Garziano. Zimmerman strikes and missed wide.
Apparently asking you shall receive. I was just saying get Catherine Zimmerman more involved, and there's a nice chance. Unable to get that one on the mark, but you were able to see her in a position to at least get a shot off.
Albera away. Good ball. Gianna Gorley leads the team in goals. Gianna Gorley by herself, the shot blocked by Freitas. That got Freitas good. She's still down back behind the play. And the whistle blows for her.
I'm not positive here if it was about the ball hitting her or more of an awkward step, to be honest, as she was closing in.
Elena Freitas, first season with Brooklyn. The Brazilian. Here's the best look we can find. Shot by Gorley.
Just kind of awkwardly stepped as she was contesting, a bit reaching there. And she is grabbing, as you can see, the trainer tending to her ankle.
Magic spray.
That stuff works wonders. Listen, you need players that are willing to lay it all out for your team to make plays, as we see Kelsey Darty coming over to her, who's a player that's also been laying it all out for Brooklyn as well. Just doing whatever they can to help defensively.
Tomas Tengarino watches on. See that Freitas already had that right ankle taped a bit. Good to see her able to jog off.
Yeah, that's tricky when you're dealing with a nagging injury like an ankle and you just are trying to push through it, that it's not 100%. So something that might be a routine play could also re-aggravate it. But it's good to see she's able to move around. The magic spray did its thing. And looks like she'll be able to stay in the match.
Match into its 60th minute. The lone goal came from Alyssa Walker, her second in 3 games with DC. And a penalty kick in the first half. Claire Constant.
This is how DC likes to play. Patient. They're not going to force the issue if it isn't on. Not afraid to just keep the ball. They do value and typically outpossess opponents.
Constant, who scored the lone goal against Tampa Bay last time out in the 1-1 draw, was the first goal DC scored against Tampa Bay going back to last season. Walker and Breslin wins that battle. Scarpelli for Zimmerman. Gaynor trying to catch up. Scarpelli. Good tackle there by Constant to slow down that buildup.
As we talk about that goal by Constant, and we talked about Alyssa Walker's contributions, this is a new era that DC Power is ushering in.
Garziano feeds it in. Kept alive, Loving. Stephen Foster says no handball. Brooklyn wanted it.
And of course, after the goal that they gave up was off a PK, naturally anything in the box, Brooklyn's going to also want a PK. That's that, hey, they had a PK, what about us?
So here it is one more time.
I think they got away with one there. Listen, Constant did have the arms behind her back, but that right arm still did make contact.
Stick out a little bit,
it
too.
still stuck out, made contact. You saw the ball change the trajectory it was going. That was a handball.
DC very fortunate. And again, obviously no VAR.
Correct. And these are the tough stretches as well. When you have something you've been arguing, a call, a handball, a foul that's not going your way, especially if you're trailing like Brooklyn is, that you have to find a way to work through that and not allow it to snowball, that you just continue to get frustrated and, focus on things like the calls.
Zimmerman, physical. Brooklyn tough. Great ball. Gurley tried to get there. She kept it alive. She scored 3 goals against Brooklyn in her career. Finds Abera. Now Walker. It's Fitch. Fitch lets it go. And it's tipped over the bar by Doherty. And I think she's a bit disappointed in herself that she didn't just catch that. But better it goes over the bar than goal behind her. Let's take one more look.
And to be honest, this shot by Susanna Fitch had a little bit more spin on it than just a traditional shot with the way she hit it. So maybe initially for Doherty, she felt like she couldn't cleanly control that, but that's a good broken possession. DC was able to turn into a solid look on net.
In swinging corner for DC. Bounces around in the area. Abera steps up and scores! After a number of chances in the first half, Loza Abera finally cashes in and gets one by Kelsey Doherty. And a huge insurance goal for DC Power. And the bunny who made the trip to Brooklyn is loving it.
I love the bunny costume, but I love even more the fact that Loza Abera, who's been knocking on the door, we talked about in the first half, stay hungry, keep shooting, keep trying. As an attacker, you want to continue trying to set yourself to score, and look at this one. This might have been the most difficult of all the chances that Loza Abera had because of the amount of traffic in front of her, but it's a great job just putting pace on this, knocking this through a sea of jerseys, and you look from that angle, that's a perfect angle, well done by our crew, because it's so hard for a keeper to be able to see the ball. And Bunny, we're with you. That's a beautiful goal. Well done by Loza Abera to finally get one to fall.
Abera's third of the season. She scored 5 last year. She scored in 2 of the 3 meetings with Brooklyn now this season. And it comes in the 64th minute. The 32nd and the 64th. I'm no math major.
Ooh,
but hey.
That's right. The math is mathing though, Josh.
Sometimes they make it easy.
I will say it's remarkable because Loza Abera, who's been the most threatening, dangerous player, has been creating so much. We've seen her have a number of good looks. Not only does she finally get one to fall, but it comes at a time where we just had the possible handball on the other end and near chances for Brooklyn. The timeliness of that goal to deflate anything that Brooklyn was trying to get going to tie this game up, so pivotal. But now with it at the 64-minute mark, still a lot of time left. But you have to keep that pressure up high.
We've seen stranger things happen in Gainbridge Super League over the last couple of seasons. One substitution for Brooklyn, their second of the match. Sophia Lewis enters for Emma Loving. Freitas. Think back to the save by Wajelko on Zimmerman earlier in this half. Would have made it a 1-1 game. Instead, it stayed 1-0, and that allowed Abera to eventually find the shot through traffic and get it past Doherty.
And that's something for Amin Namazi's group that they're encouraged by, just the personnel they've been able to add to raise the level. That's a player that's, as we've highlighted, new to this group, still learning her way and proving herself with a play like that she can help her team protect their lead. That's massive.
The Gainbridge Super League season is in full swing here in the spring. Visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com for all the latest information, analysis, and insight into all things Gainbridge Super League. Josh Appel, Renee Washington with you from Maimonides Park in Brooklyn. Pivotal game in the push for the playoffs.
Look at us coordinating in our headshots, and we didn't even plan it.
I mean, you mentioned our great crew.
I mean,
it's almost like we've all done this before and working together in sync. Time of our lives. Brooklyn trying to mount a comeback. Well defended.
Well, even with that goal by Loza Abera to give them that now a bit of an insurance, it's so pivotal now that for both teams you continue to play at a high level. 2-0 leads, so dangerous in soccer.
Most dangerous.
The most dangerous in soccer. One goal drastically can change things, but also can give you so much belief and momentum. And we know Brooklyn is a team that is going to continue to battle, especially when their backs are against the wall. So DC needing to continue to create chances and keep the pressure high.
Fitch with a takeaway. Fitch just over the bar. Breslin had some trouble with it. And Susanna Fitch, the captain, nearly made it 3.
How about Susanna Fitch, the way she's been attacking? We've seen some good looks from her as well. Able to get out wide, drives this one across well. As you look from that angle, a lot closer than it may have even seemed in real time, but she's one that gets services, gets crosses, brings the energy, and makes things happen today. Trying to make a goal happen.
She was one of the bright spots a season ago. All Super League first team. She's been excellent again this year. Colton, sorry, Gianna Gorley on the move. Gianna Gorley, well defended by Garziano, and it will be a corner for DC.
That changed fast. I was just going to say, we've seen Brooklyn get some set pieces they haven't been able to put into a dangerous enough spot, and DC's defending it well, but not only are they defending it well, they flipped the script on them from one set piece to the next, just like that. Now DC Power has a set piece with a corner of their own.
Emily Colton leads the team in chances created. The energizer of this group. Swings it in towards the back post. Just rises over the head of Walker. Gurley settles it down. Gianna Gurley spins, blocked away. Too far for Colton.
Definitely unlucky on that one. The runners were there, the ideas were there, just a bit heavy. But at least it does pin Brooklyn back into their own defensive end if you're DC.
DC preparing a trio of subs to try and protect this 2-0 lead.
I think that's the right move. The intensity's been high in this game. You're now up by a second goal. You need players out there that can bring some fresh legs, help you maintain the lead, and help you finish the game strong.
Williams in a stretch, the whistle blows. All right, so here are the three subs for DC. Hannah Harney, Lexi Fraley, and Deja Torbert. The trio enters on for the two goal scorers, Loza Abera and Alyssa Walker. Alexis Theoret also exits as well. Hannah Harney, Deja Torbert, and Lexi Fraley come in. Kiki Markovic will enter for Brooklyn as well for Jess Garziano. Sophia Lewis in as well for Loving as this pinball's around. Williams gets it wide for Lewis. Brooklyn tries to get one back. Flicked up into the air. Missed on the header. Lewis had it roll by her. Race for it. And Gurley just gets it away.
And that was a set piece that was much better executed by Brooklyn to put it into, just knock it into the mix and let your players try to see if they can duke it out to win it.
Omid Namazi, he talked about how much deeper this roster is this season, and especially heading into the spring. He's able to take off players like Walker and Abera and Theoret and replace them with players who could easily be in the starting 11 for them.
And that's the making of a winning culture, when you have the depth, but then you also have the buy-in that regardless whether a player is starting or coming off the bench, they're going to come in, help keep the level high, help your team win games. And so that's a huge bonus, especially down the stretch of the season.
Namazi told us he loves the speed that Harney and Fraley bring to this group.
Yeah, I think in addition to depth, and now just adds another, tool that you have in your arsenal, that you have players that can, with pace, run at back lines, defend, pressure. And so, you like the mixing and matching of maybe some players that like to hold the ball up versus others that want to run in behind, to just have some different looks into your offensive personnel.
Time running out for Brooklyn. DC content to take their time. They wouldn't hate another one just for more insurance. Fitch swings it left. Now Colton. Harney collides with Freitas, and Harney gets called for the foul.
You see DC just not happy with that at all. Thought the foul was going in their favor as these two collide, and you look there, definitely some hands and contact.
Played forward by Fraley. Corley trying to get there, runs right into Kelsey Hill. And Gorley got the worst of that, right in front of the bunny.
You're loving the bunny.
I mean, I love the dedication.
It looks warm.
That is an excellent point on a day where it's cloudy with no sun and temperatures in the mid-40s.
I say that as someone that may or may not have a bunny onesie, so it's
oh, wow.
Fun fact. Well done by DC to continue to just work the ball around. They're opening the field up nicely and just keeping possession. This is what you don't mind. You're up by 2 goals. Allow your possession to continue to control the game.
Kroger looking for Zimmerman, and Wojelko, who has been a real difference maker in this second half. The Washington Spirit loanee. Aggressive offer line. Will put a stop to it.
And we did not have to see her as much in the first half, but she came out in the second half ready to go. It's been difficult. I know Coach Amit Namazi was saying how she only trains game day -1, so she's not there the entire training week, and they have to assess her in that quick time frame of 24 hours of whether or not she's ready and able to go. But listen, she's showing she's comfortable, she's showing she's confident, and has been fantastic today. You wouldn't even know that she's a loanee.
Weaving through, it's Zimmerman right at Wojelko. One of the things the staff liked about Wojelko is how she handles pressure, and she's done that in this second half. A few big saves.
I mean, these are season-changing moves that DC Power has made to build the depth, to raise the talent, to just have players that are bought in to building that winning culture.
This is a team that finished 18 points out of a playoff spot last year with only 5 wins. If they hang on today, they'll equal their win total from a season ago and pull within 1 point of 4th place and that final playoff spot.
Remarkable turnaround, and it's a blend of having the players that have been here, that were in the trenches, so to speak, helping you through that difficult season last year, and then also adding in those pieces that, you know, you have a different energy and excitement that this group can trust that this is a new season and they're not that same team as last year. You can see the belief in how they're continuing to play.
Almendarez. Zimmerman back to her left. Zimmerman takes a deflection on the way in. I think Cummings got in the way. Wow. Zimmerman had reservations for the back of the net, and Cummings not Wajelko this time.
Again, Zimmerman with a chance. That should have been a goal. Look at this. Bodies hitting the deck. Zimmerman able to stay up on her feet. And that should be a goal. Well done, though. This is how you lay out for your team, of just doing anything and everything you can to block shots. It's not just your keeper, it's your back line, too, that can help make those plays.
Whatever changes Tomas Tengariña made in the second half were the right ones, because they have looked like a much more cohesive team, especially in the final third in this second half.
And that's the thing. The score line, of course, paints one picture, but when you look within what the score has indicated, Brooklyn is drastically playing better in this second half. They just, as they're chasing a game, you can see the second goal. It makes it more difficult. But you'd like to think, can you bring that same identity in terms of the composure and the creativity in the final third for full 90 minutes consistently, and see how your team is able to play moving forward at that level?
Harney on the cross, back post. Fraley nearly made it 3-0. Nearly a dangerous collision. Everybody seems to be okay. Great ball in.
This is a beautiful service right along the goal line. And honestly, that's one that you want to sometimes just run in, see if you can, whether it's off your chest or obviously heading it down. But the other reality is it's a lot harder than it looks with the pace that ball is being served across the box. But that's back-to-back chances, Josh, on each end that truly should have been goals.
Now, in this second half, actual goals are obviously the number that count. But as far as expected goals in the second half, Brooklyn doubling up DC in the second half. Final third entries doubled up in favor of Brooklyn. Touches in the opponent box, 9-6 in favor of Brooklyn. And they have been a much better side from the first half to the second half this afternoon. Unfortunately, they've still got a goose egg on the scoreline.
And that is something that you can now look at. How will this look moving forward when you bring back someone like Rebecca Cook, when you are at full strength? But this second half has been much better of just the cohesion, the ideas, the execution for Brooklyn.
Markovic off target, goal kick coming.
Well, the other thing as we talk about specifically looking at Brooklyn second half, I know I mentioned it earlier, getting players like Catherine Zimmerman more involved. And you think about their better chances, she's either the one on the receiving end or involved in the buildup. You have to get more of your playmakers going earlier on. I think that's what DC's been doing well, getting Loza Abera, getting Alyssa Walker. We actually didn't even see as much of Gianna Gorley in terms of just those strong plays, but you have to get your playmakers going early and often.
Abera and Walker, the goal scorers. Walker on a PK in the 32nd minute in the first half. Abera in the 64th minute here in the second half. Zimmerman for Brooklyn. Turns back. Markovic feeds it in, but right at Wajelko. But I think it's something that we talked about earlier in what Omid Namazi said about bringing in Alyssa Walker. Not only does it give them another threat next to Gianna Gorley, but Loza Abera as well. I mean, they've got some bona fide goal scorers up front.
And they can play so nicely off each other, as you've seen today, because defensively you can't focus on just one.
Fitch, low cross, cleared away for the moment. Scarpelli, long, and out for a throw to DC.
When you have the ability to have multiple goal-scoring threats that on any given day can help find the back of the net, it keeps your opponent's defense honest. They can't double team or just lock it on one player, and I think that's what we've seen from DC today. That's going to be something that's worth keeping an eye on throughout the remainder of the season, how they continue to build off of each other and reading the game, reading the double teams, so that those three, the three-headed juggernaut of that trio, can continue to give defenses nightmares.
Stay up to date with the Gainbridge Super League. Sign up for the Super newsletter. Get news about your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox weekly. Sign up at GainbridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter. Handful of minutes to go here in Brooklyn.
This is what Brooklyn needs to continue doing, getting the ball into deeper areas and then getting numbers to join into the attack so that you have options.
This is just the first home game for Brooklyn since November 22nd. They go on the road for 2 more after this. Got to take advantage of those opportunities at home if you can. And for DC, this is the first of a 5-match month of March. And coming on the road, few minutes away from getting 3 points is massive. They've got 2 straight coming up at home against Dallas and Carolina before going to Spokane on the 21st and coming back home to face Tampa Bay to close out the month of March.
I think if you're DC right now, you're welcoming all away games too with their success on the road.
Annie Williams is down, and finally the whistle blows for her.
As play stops with Annie Williams down, as you mentioned, the lack of home games for Brooklyn, that's something that ties into everything we mentioned regarding the inability to actually practice outside and all the awful snow and weather that's been happening in the Northeast. So your home field is supposed to be the place you know best, but for Brooklyn, that's probably not the case since they're barely able to even play on their field for games or anything like that.
Lexi Fraley has made an impact in the second half. Breslin defends her well and earns the goal kick.
Well done, 1v1 defending by Hope Breslin. Not to foul, time her when she stepped well, and to be able to set it up for the goal kick.
Kroger battling with Fraley. Now Breslin for Kroger. Scarpelli had that skip off of her, and a foul called here on Kelsey Hill. Long free kick. Sydney Cummings will do the honors. Another game where she'll play the full 90 is Fitch. Off target with that pass, and Kroger can start it. A Cummings stepped up, got in the way, and turned her over.
We haven't even talked enough about Sydney Cummings. Of course, she blocked the shot that we saw earlier this half by Catherine Zimmerman. She's doing a good job.
Fraley bumped into Gorley. Gorley back heel. And the flag is up for offside. As Harney started that a little bit too soon.
Bit too antsy on that one, but it does start in transition as we were highlighting Cummings for getting the stop defensively. That now you see the blue jerseys get forward, a slight friendly fire, I guess you could say, of them running into each other.
Into the 90th. Wide for Fitch. Fitch plays it into the area, and Doherty comes out to grab it. DC wanted a whistle for a hold. They don't get it.
And that's when they were saying they were unable to get to the receiving end of that pass because they were held. It's actually similar to what caused the penalty kick that Alyssa Walker scored, that off-ball foul.
We'll have 3 minutes of added time here in the second half. An excellent road performance to this point for DC. Just moments away from its 4th clean sheet of the season.
And to continue their unbeaten streak as well. I think DC, the promising thing is how this group's continued to progress as this game's gone on. We're seeing the ideas, the creativity.
Another player down for Brooklyn. It's Freitas again. She's had a tough afternoon. Has taken a few physical hits. Bodies just sprawled out all over the place now as Harney took a spill right in front of her team's bench.
Definitely expected a little bit of chaos as the game got down into the final minutes, and as time continues to trickle off the clock. This is where, for Brooklyn, the potential opportunity to tie this game up is feeling further and further out of reach. I'll never say it's over, but feeling closer to being over.
Gorley. That shot was deflected on its way. She wants her 4th in 5 career matches against Brooklyn. Throw in for Brooklyn. Zimmerman will get it in. Big turning point in this game. When Zimmerman was stopped point blank by Wajelko, would have made it 1-1. Harney recovers and clears it out. But after that, Abera was able to score, make it 2-0.
Well, that chance by Zimmerman off the pass from Freitas happened around the 50-minute mark. And Abera's goal at the 64-minute mark, that's how close of a swing it was. That, you know, within a little over 10 minutes, he went from potentially being tied 1-1 to trailing 2-0.
Brooklyn wanted another handball. Remember, they also had a no handball decision go against them in this half. Harney around the outside, shielded off by Hill. Those two battle, and Harney is called for a foul. And now we're at the mercy of the whistle of Stephen Foster.
Well, as you mentioned, that handball, that also happened after Zimmerman's chance before Abera scored. So Brooklyn had a couple of chances that should have and could have gone differently that would have drastically changed the outcome of this game. But that's something that they've talked about, that we have seen in the past, of just the difference between winning games and dropping results.
Rosette, cross into the hands harmlessly of Wajelko, and there is the final whistle. DC Power with a massive 3 points on the road. They win this over Brooklyn 2-0 and are now just 1 point back of the fourth and final playoff spot in Gainbridge Super League, and DC now unbeaten in their previous 5 matches.
And they finally get a win over Brooklyn this season in a big way. That's a good team win from start to finish of how they progressed. Some incredible individual performances, but you have to be thrilled with how they've returned back to the pitch for the first time in nearly a month.
It's time for our Cashable Save of the Match, brought to you by Cashable, the home of socially responsible credit. This was all the way back in the first half. Early on, first big chance, Loza Abera on a free kick from just outside the 18. A wonderful shot, but an even better save from Kelsey Doherty, who did all she could this afternoon for her team.
She definitely did. Fantastic performance. Even for Brooklyn, despite the results, you can look at players like Kelsey Doherty that had a great game, just didn't get the result they wanted.
We'll come back to Maimonides Park in Brooklyn to wrap things up in just a moment. Alyssa Walker, Loza Abera, the 2 goal scorers for DC Power. Unbeaten streak to 5 with a 2-0 win on the road against Brooklyn FC. Welcome back to Brooklyn. DC Power with a massive 3 points away from home. A 2-0 win over Brooklyn FC. Josh Appel, Renee Washington with you. Now joined with the second goal scorer for DC Power. It's Loza Ibarra. Loza, you had 2 or 3 quality chances in the first half to score. How nice did it feel to finally get one through and get one by Kelsey Doherty there in the second half?
Yeah, true. I got 2-3 chances first half, but on the second half I got 1 goal, and then that I'm so happy on that.
Yeah, so Loza, when you look at your
I help a team get 3 points.
Absolutely, Loza. Looking at your first game in nearly a month, and you guys extend your unbeaten streak to 5 games in a row. What did you like most about how you guys played today in this win?
Yeah, we really did a great job in this game, and also we got 3 points on the road. So these pointers would give us a good momentum for the next games. So we will keep this momentum, this win for the next game.
Loza, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations on the goal and congratulations on the win. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
That's Loza Ibarra, second goal scorer in this 2-0 win. Renee, let's take a look back at the highlights here from today. This was the PK that got it all started. Walker down in the box, then she converts.
32-minute mark, a penalty kick is what broke through for the scoring. Alyssa Walker able to finish the PK, and for DC Power, they had been knocking on the door, finally got one to go. Brooklyn had their fair share of chances as well. This was one of their best looks that we had, saying Freitas finds Zimmerman, but just a phenomenal save by Sarah Wajelko to keep Brooklyn scoreless. And they continued, especially in the second half, with chances. That one a shot from distance. Well done there by Emma Loving. And a nice punch over the crossbar by Wajelko, showing off the skills again. And this is the insurance goal. Loza Ibarra buries it back post, able to knock this one through a sea of players into that back post to give them the insurance goal and help DC Power get the 2-0 win.
3 points and a massive 3, because you look at what it does to the standings. They jump Spokane. They obviously jump Brooklyn. And now DC is 1 point back with a game in hand on Carolina for that final playoff spot in the Gainbridge Super League standings. This DC Power team much improved, some key additions for the spring season. They remain unbeaten in 5 in a row with a 2-0 win today. That'll do it for us from Brooklyn. We appreciate you joining us so very much on this Saturday. For Renee Washington and our entire crew, this is Josh Appel saying so long from Maimonides Park. This has been Gainbridge Super League on Peacock. Once again, our final score, DC Power 2, Brooklyn FC 0. Have a great rest of your Saturday night, and we'll talk to you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.